Okay, we are now joined by Natalie Shure. She is a writer, organizer, and comedian. Thank you for joining us, Natalie.
Thanks so much for having me. Good to be back.
Yes. And you have a new, we were able to sneak peek a piece that will be coming out in a publication of note
In
soon.
media, it's called the sneak peek.
That's right. Professional. We got the preview. About the end of Roe v. Wade and how this ultimately may not, or likely will not, motivate Democrats to come out to the polls and won't have, a negative impact really on the Republican Party either. So, we're speaking now a couple days after this, another sneak peek of a decision. We're getting all our sneak peeks in before June, before stuff really hits the fan. But why don't we start with why you were motivated to write this piece? Because I'm assuming this was before you had the knowledge that we all just acquired that the court has decided or is likely deciding to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, so the piece, which will come out, I believe, in June or July, was planned as, part of a themed issue on a post-Roe world, looking at that from many different angles. And so I was looking at it specifically, electorally, how it might affect electoral politics. And I think that a lot of people the other day with the leaked draft decision and over the past couple of years, because, it's not as if I'm a soothsayer. This is something that, people have seen the writing on the wall ever since the Supreme Court decided to take up the Dobbs case, which is the one that's in Mississippi set to act as a pretext to overturn Roe versus Wade. The makeup of the court made this outcome very likely. And of course, the makeup of the court with, now 6 conservatives as opposed to even 5. There have been some key decisions where usually John Roberts flips and votes with the liberals that, things like various ACA cases have been like that, where, the conservative outcome didn't prevail. But now they've got, a conscience guided moderate right wingers veto proof majority, right? So they have 6 people. And I think as soon as Amy Coney Barrett came on board, a lot of the states where the religious right does have a lot more power, where there's more social conservatism, I think did just start to pass laws more brazenly that they wouldn't have before. And so that's, an important way to look at this, that it's not just, the timing happened to be it's different justices. It's, the anti-abortion movement did this on purpose, passed something that they knew would be, struck down or not even accepted by higher courts just a couple of years ago, that's now in play. So I was trying to grapple with the implications of that. And a lot of people have talked about this as a potentially galvanizing moment, that this could really be, a movement building moment for Democrats. And I guess we can't rule that out on a limited basis in the short term. But overall, I think what makes me skeptical about that analysis is the fact that, the reason that the Democratic Party is electorally waning, and we can point to so many structural reasons why that's true. The way that the Senate works, the way that proportional representation works, blah, 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 it really does favor Republicans in a lot of instances. But I think it's also the fact that as education polarization has increased, with more like young educated professionals being on the Democratic side, it's unclear where the Democratic Party is going to find those voters to defeat the right and Republicans. And I also think it's important to realize that abortion has become such a massive issue on the right, I think, for class reasons that are sometimes overlooked. Ultimately, wealthy women will always be able to get an abortion. That, a lot of these restrictions, curtailments of these rights will fall very dramatically on poor and near poor women, and that's fits very fits very seamlessly within the Rights Project. So I think you have to see this as a class issue, and it will require class war to get out of that. And so all of that is to say, why am I skeptical that this could be a flashpoint for Democrats? Because I think that to reconstitute the party and to build a durable base moving forward that could change the political landscape in this country, I think that you do need to reconstitute these bases by class. I think that you need a resurgent class movement, and I don't see a way forward besides that.
And
well said. I mean, this is also, there's just so many different factors all contributing to this kind of a tide shift in the halls of the Supreme Court. And this is all excluding, just a basic reality that we cannot let Catholics into the highest seats of power in our country, which is something people used to know. And then we let them in. 6 months later, the Pope's dictating what happens in the halls of DC.